Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like he's got a tap. Just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. Even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like there's all these lawsuits. Like he hasn't been paying things. Money on this and those money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement. Get into latest watches and latest cars. You get into that. Boy, that money goes quick. Like 3 million. There's watches that are 3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
Kind of trapped in a regimen of fight, get the money, spend the money, fight. The money, spend the money, fight. You know, there's no investments, no income from anywhere.
Questions surrounding Floyd Mayweather's financial habits have also been raised by Crawford and others. Their concerns center on whether even the massive wealth Mayweather accumulated during his boxing career can withstand years of extremely high spending. Rogan has highlighted Floyd's collection of costly watches, luxury vehicles, several Bugattis, high-end properties, and his frequent displays of wealth as examples of how rapidly a huge fortune can be reduced. He has also raised doubts about whether Mayweather can continue funding that kind of lifestyle indefinitely.
It's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the...
50 Cent has consistently taken aim at Floyd Mayweather, with much of their long-running conflict focusing on Floyd's lavish spending habits and approach to money. What was once a friendship eventually developed into a highly publicized feud, allowing 50 Cent to repeatedly challenge the image Floyd presents around his wealth. The rapper has frequently made fun of Mayweather's fascination with expensive cars, luxury watches, large amounts of cash, and other high-value possessions. From 50 Cent's point of view, publicly displaying expensive belongings is not automatic proof that someone is financially stable. Over the years, their rivalry has led to numerous exchanges and personal jabs, with 50 often turning Floyd's wealthy public persona into material for criticism. Whether he is making remarks about Mayweather's spending or questioning the way he handles business, 50 Cent has repeatedly suggested that Floyd's financial situation may be more complicated than what is portrayed online.
His money. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
They trying to keep up.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny when I was listening to this conversation with Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about it. He was like,
his jewelry fake.
Yeah, he was wearing fake jewelry.
But who would know?
Spencer Cornelia has suggested that Floyd Mayweather's return to the ring could be motivated more by financial needs than by a genuine desire to compete in boxing again. Although Mayweather accumulated a massive fortune during his professional career, Cornelia has raised questions about whether Floyd's costly lifestyle and ongoing financial commitments have reached a point where another substantial source of income is necessary. From this perspective, the comeback may represent another opportunity for Mayweather to bring in significant revenue rather than simply a pursuit of athletic competition.
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money.
And it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money is gone, trust me. Now it's like, if you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub.
Cornelia has suggested that maintaining Mayweather's lifestyle could require several $1 million in expenses each month, adding another layer of significance to his latest return to boxing. Mayweather, meanwhile, has repeatedly pointed to the tremendous revenue his events are capable of producing, arguing that few, if any, fighters can match the financial results generated by his shows. From Cornelia's viewpoint, the bigger issue is therefore not simply what is motivating Floyd to compete again. The real question is whether the level of wealth and spending he has built around himself now requires another enormous payday to keep everything running.
speculated that Mayweather is coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao because he needs the money. Yes, this is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025 of Jonas sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many had been returned after the balance was paid down. Here's the next message of another collection of watches that were used for a loan. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned. This indicates he continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money. Obviously, his broke is a lot different than broke.
Floyd Mayweather is reportedly facing another legal claim over an alleged $105,000 bill for private jet services. This comes shortly after reports of a $330,000 rent dispute and an alleged $7.3 million tax liability involving the IRS. Business Insider has also been cited in discussions about Mayweather's financial position, with claims that he could be dealing with as much as $54 million in debt, along with foreclosures and multiple lawsuits. Questions have also surfaced online about the future of Floyd Mayweather Promotions. One fan claimed that the company's website was no longer accessible and speculated that Mayweather's financial obligations could be affecting his ability to pay fighters, potentially explaining why some people have been leaving the organization. Another major legal dispute involves a luxury Manhattan property. Court records dated January 8, 2026, reportedly show a lawsuit accusing Mayweather of owing more than $500,000 in unpaid rent. The complaint, filed by Perpetual Love Investments LLC, alleges that rental payments were missed between July and November 2025, leaving an outstanding balance of $515, $834.25, and according to the lawsuit, Mayweather later agreed to settle the amount, but allegedly failed to meet a December 2, 2025 repayment deadline. Reports say he had entered into a lease for the Manhattan residence in late 2024, with rent set at $100,000 per month. Business Insider reported that the property owners, Layla and David Sentner, had purchased 2 units in the building for $15.3 million in 2016 before merging them into one large condominium. Layla reportedly said Mayweather initially paid his rent consistently, but the payments allegedly stopped in July 2025, as she also described a conversation with Mayweather in December regarding the missed rent. According to her account, he appeared surprised by the amount that had accumulated and reportedly said he would take care of the balance before communication eventually stopped. The dispute reportedly became even more frustrating for the property owners because Mayweather was simultaneously posting images on social media showing large amounts of cash. Rena Cleat, an agent with Pulse International Realty, said the owners were bothered by seeing those posts while waiting for their rent. Bill Haney has also addressed the reports surrounding Mayweather's finances, offering a straightforward criticism of his spending habits. Haney believes Floyd should stop spending heavily in an effort to impress women. The broader criticism focuses on Mayweather's well-known image of wealth, including his luxury automobiles, diamond-encrusted watches, expensive properties, cash displays, and overall high-cost lifestyle. The issue is not simply that he spends money, but whether maintaining that public image has created financial pressure that could become increasingly difficult to manage.
Loans against all his assets, and it's fine when he's fighting and making money because he can pay the loans back, but it's kind of like musical chairs. Here's Floyd texting about having to give up all of his jewelry and watches and all of his women's bags. Further, he sent the text, "Don't forget about my ladies' Birkins, also that's a part of the $13 million. In December 2025, Floyd texted, "Please keep me updated on my jewelry and Birkins, thanks." Back in March, so around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees, and he mentions needing another $360,000 by Friday so the fees don't keep adding up. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. Jonah shared with me that people pay up to 3% per month, which is why the fees were so high. That loan was almost paid in full. If you reread Joel's message, it makes sense. Joel says, I have recouped everything and hasn't had to sell any pieces. All that remains is another $360,000 so Floyd doesn't have to pay any more fees. In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell.
Dana White has now addressed the attention surrounding Floyd Mayweather's reported financial difficulties, and his response has added further interest to an already heated discussion. He described the situation as a difficult one that Mayweather has generated hundreds of millions of dollars during his extraordinary boxing career. Yet questions continue to surround how much of that fortune remains after years of extremely expensive spending. His lifestyle has included high-priced vehicles, luxury watches, large properties, private aircraft, gambling, and other major expenses. White's remarks have become part of the wider conversation because speculation about Mayweather's finances has intensified. If the reported debts, lawsuits, and unpaid bills are accurate, they could suggest that Floyd's highly publicized image of enormous wealth may not tell the entire story of his current financial position.
Kill a lot of the fighters. Like, why do they keep getting caught up with taxes? They talk about Floyd getting caught up, Mike Tyson getting caught up.
Well, that's the financial literacy component that we always, that everyone kind of whispers about, right? Yeah, they whisper about, right? Is the outgo not matching the income. You know what I mean? I think that was one of the things that I spoke with Floyd about, being an example of blowing the dough. For the kids to have that as, and then it's one of those marketing tactics, I believe, that you're going to spend the money, show that you can spend the money. Secretly, you're making a whole lot, but you're creating an image for kids to follow that's not necessarily conducive to financial literacy. Some of the shit, man, you know what I mean? When guys who put their life on the line, who then have to go home short while you give to women, right? In front of the guys, I didn't think that was necessarily cool. When your kids are doing things that they shouldn't do for money because you don't give them the money that you give to women for nothing. Now, I'm not looking at women and looking at him and saying what he should be doing. We were talking, because he was looking for me, and we were talking about the differences in the way my get down is and the differences of...
Floyd Mayweather accumulated an extraordinary fortune during his boxing career, but financial commentator Spencer Cornelia has questioned how much of that wealth may have been consumed by years of lavish spending. Mayweather has maintained a lifestyle involving expensive automobiles, high-end watches, luxury residences, private aircraft, gambling, and a large personal entourage, all of which can require substantial ongoing expenses. Cornelia's assessment focuses not only on the enormous income Mayweather generated, but also on the scale of his spending. His argument is that consistently high costs can place significant pressure on even a massive fortune. With expenses continuing at an exceptional level, hundreds of millions earned over an entire career can be reduced far more quickly than many people might expect.
Amasses the type of wealth that he had, and then they lose it or it gets stolen or whatever the deal is. It's horrible, and it happens a lot in professional sports. Who knows? Anything is possible. Maybe we could do something and figure it out for him. But one of the things I wanted to, when you were just saying about like tonight's fight, we have 24 broadcast deals in 93 countries that this went out to tonight, So, for these guys to come over here and have the opportunity to not only get paid, but showcase their skills in front of, I always tell fighters, listen, making money is really important, but as many people as possible on earth seeing the things that you did in the
Boxing Ego has also shared his thoughts on Floyd Mayweather, discussing the legendary fighter's career, financial success, and highly publicized lifestyle. His remarks contribute another perspective to the ongoing conversation about Mayweather's reported money concerns and the choices he has made away from professional boxing.
Former manager of Floyd, that he is spending $3 million per month.
I think what's hard for all of us to grasp, and I'm including myself in this, I'm sure you're the same way, and Vegas has taught me this, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, is that There are a lot of experiences and expenses that the average person just doesn't even know exist. And the best example I like to use is when you go to a nightclub here in Vegas, you can walk in the door and spend $200. The guy 10 feet from you that has bottle service and access to a group of women that he paid a host to get, he might spend $40,000 for the same night in a relatively similar experience. And so within that same night, he spent whatever the math is, 8,000x what you spent. My point being is that these guys get access to experiences flying private to the F1 that was a recent event. Maybe they fly private, they fly a group of people, a big 10, 12 person seater jet out to the World Cup. The World Cup tickets, you're buying a suite. I know Floyd Mayweather bought a suite for the Super Bowl. These are $1 million purchases, which if you are a high income earner, generally means you need to make $1.5 to $2 million so that you can spend $1 million. And it becomes very easy to spend this much money. I know it sounds absurd, and yes, we should criticize them. However, there's a lifestyle that us average folks, I include myself in that, we're not even aware of how easy it is to spend 10.
Logan Paul has brought fresh attention to Floyd Mayweather's reported financial issues by alleging that the former champion still has $3 million owed to him. The claim reportedly relates to their widely publicized exhibition match, an event that attracted significant attention and generated substantial revenue. Paul says the amount he is claiming has not been paid, adding another point of controversy to the ongoing discussion about Mayweather's finances. Given Floyd's public image as a fighter who earned enormous sums and regularly showcased an extravagant lifestyle, an allegation involving an unpaid multi-million-dollar amount naturally draws attention. The dispute also puts a spotlight on the financial arrangements surrounding Mayweather's exhibition bouts, particularly how the revenue and payments connected to these high-profile events were structured and handled.
The Grand Theft Auto garage, right? Luxury items, on the private jet, all this stuff. And now there's a bunch of reports that we're gonna go through in this video. Now, I've been covering boxing for double-digit years. Allow me to take you through it. A simple Google search shows Floyd Mayweather. You type in his name, you're gonna see some fight photos and whatnot. But the top stories, and there's multiple stories, and we're gonna take a look at some of them. But as mentioned, Business Insider is now reporting what you see on the screen, that Floyd Mayweather is being accused in lawsuits of owing millions of dollars for luxury watches, gold, and rent on palatial apartment, right? The bullet points. Floyd was sued for allegedly failing to pay rent on a luxurious duplex in Manhattan. The boxer was also hit with 2 new lawsuits over millions in allegedly unpaid bills for jewelry. So keep in mind the terminology, allegedly. Mayweather, we do know he sued Showtime Networks, alleging it helped his ex-manager deprive him of $340 million, which I mentioned earlier. It says, and this will all be linked in the description so you can have a copy or whatnot. Former boxing champ Floyd Mayweather has been hit with 3 new lawsuits alleging that he failed to pay millions to 2 jewelry stores and that he owes hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent.
You could simply laugh it off,